It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone, and we are live from Skankfest in New Orleans. And sitting down with us is one of our old friends who was on a Calta cruise with us, who used to be part of what I used to call the triplets between you and, this is Mike Cannon, by the way.
What's up?
You, Brendan Sagalow, and Mike Feeney.
That's right, yeah.
And you two were inseparable, a threesome, and now you've seemed to all have gone your own way.
We have, but Brendan and I have found our way back to each other.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, we started a new podcast together.
Well, what is that called?
It's called Fart Carnival.
Of course it is.
Which I think was the second name for this festival. It's a backup.
Carnival.
That name wasn't taken yet, huh? That's interesting.
Believe it or not, it is polarizing.
What do you guys do on Fart Carnival?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
You
We
just
just
dumb
do.
stuff?
Yeah, it's just fun guys doing fun stuff.
You know, it's funny because that's what I always see podcasts should always start out as something fun, like a fun hobby, and then if it becomes something, great. If not, we had a good time.
That's exactly how I look at it, and people are like, you're starting new shows over and over again. You have 8 podcasts, and it's like, no, that's right. I'm like Michael Scott with Paper Company. Yeah. Like anytime one doesn't work, I'll start a new one and a new one, and I have so many names.
Now, yesterday I had a little bit of a situation. Yeah. But Karen Fian ratted me out, man. She totally ratted me out. We had Karen on the show, and I asked her if there was a fire and she could only save 2 of you in the fire, or what order she would save you in, and she said that she would save you and Brendan, and
Nice.
I said of course because she had sex with Brendan, which still blows my mind.
Yeah,
especially since I saw her naked yesterday. And then I must have said Feeney would be my last choice, and that I would, quote, gleefully watch him burn.
Yeah.
I don't know what context that was said in, because I don't dislike Mike Feeney at all. In fact, we were trying to get him to join us on the air, and I certainly don't want to see him die in a fire. Yeah. I don't know why I would have said that, but evidently I did, because Feeney went back and watched it on YouTube.
That's what type of psychopath he is, and that's why your answer was right.
Yeah, you're right. All right, for the world's sake, I should write it down.
He does deep research after to see who wants him dead.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I don't know what I was thinking that day, but
I think that just shines a light on how much you love Brendan and I.
That is probably more true. I think I'm closer to you guys, or at least to you. Brendan's been somewhat elusive lately.
He's a slippery eel.
He is a slippery eel.
By the way, Mike not only
manatee.
did the Celtic Cruise, but the Comedy Circus as well.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah.
That show was awesome.
That was fun.
Some of the talents that those people had with the spikes and all that. It's crazy.
It was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know. I always wanted to have a show where it was like do you remember the Jim Rose Sideshow Circus that went on with Lollapalooza?
Yeah.
So I saw that in the 90s. It was my first experience of that stuff. And Jim Rose I just thought the idea that he put this all together and they took it on the road, I wanted to do something like that for a night, just a night. Because when I saw him in Ybor City, he had midget, lesbian, Mexican wrestlers, and I thought, what's better than that? I still have a signed poster from that night in my studio, and I thought, if we could find those freaks now, those people who are doing, and we had one girl, her name was Pipsy Pinwheel, and she was a clown, if you will, but she didn't really wear a lot of clown makeup, but she could take a nail and drive it straight into her nose, and then she could put up the stuff in her nose and pull it out of her mouth, and she was attractive, which made it really weird. And I go, what if we just get a bunch of cool acts like that and do a show? And that's really what I wanted the Comedy Circus to be, comedy and that kind of stuff. Well, it
was perfect. My favorite thing about those events, though, is those people are like typically in character for the whole time. And my favorite thing, though, is they're like us. They're alive in 2024 or whenever it was. And I watched some of those skeleton guys in full makeup that had just done something horrific, like also show each other pictures of their kids on the phone.
Be real humans for a second.
That's just the best when they kind of break for a moment. And also Canhead. How could I forget Canhead?
Sure.
Canhead, man. That guy loved some Canhead.
My favorite moment of the entire thing was when he was saying, it's a gift, I can't believe it, I was born with it, nobody else on earth. And the bald security guard goes, I could do that. He immediately stuck a can to his head.
There are a lot of people who are doubting that Canhead possessed any talent. But hey, if you can turn it into something.
I'm
This
jealous.
is Mike Cannon, the host of Fart Carnival
You've heard of it.
That's right.
What else? What other podcasts are you doing?
I'm doing, for me personally,
Yeah.
I have Beautiful Boys. That's with Andy Haynes and I. Andy Haynes is another really funny comic. I don't know if
Andy Haynes is somebody that I owe an apology to.
I love that.
Because Andy tried to contact me. He was coming to Tampa, and I was out of town.
We had him on, though.
Did you have him on?
Yeah, because I hosted and we had him on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
You owe nothing to
Yeah.
Andy.
Well, screw Andy.
Suck it then, Andy. Because I was going through my messages and I found a message where he called me and I felt bad that I didn't even return his phone call. So, all right, well, tell Andy I said the second.
He threw your name on the pile.
Yeah, I don't want him treating me like I treat Feeney.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'd gleefully watch you burn.
So, Beautiful Boys, Fart Carnival.
Beautiful Boys is more of like a dad thing. So Andy and I are both fathers. We're in comedy. We have frustrations, and that's where like we get a little bit of that out there. So it's kind of themed in that way. And then Fart Carnival is, pure Sagalo and Ken and fun.
Now, let's talk about Beautiful Boys for a second, because I, too, am a father, and I feel like I want to talk about father stuff, but I feel like nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I don't want to, because I am interested in what other fathers go through and do, but I also feel like when I talk about my kids, people are like, stop talking about your kids.
100%. It's almost why you have to have a separate project for it.
You're right.
Because like otherwise, if you sneak it into comedy podcasts, there's nobody that hates like tender talk
the comedian
and exposing of real emotions than comedy fans. And they're like, we just don't want to hear this at all. So that's why Andy and I have this whole thing where we've curated an audience of beta males like ourselves
to listen to that.
who just are broken down by the system, man.
Also, just put in like a sweeper after like a touching story. Just go, if you didn't like that, listen to Fart Carnival.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm having a great time. Nothing bad, but I'm going through some stuff. My daughter's 12 now, and the world is changing.
Yes,
She's hanging out. I looked at my Ring doorbell, and she was hanging out with her boyfriend today.
No
and I'm
kidding.
like, that's a little. I'm in another state, and she's hanging out with a boy.
Yeah.
We got some issues now.
But you got dogs.
I got 2 dogs, and I got
And
a
a turtle.
psychopath son. So that also.
I mean,
helps.
that's awesome. He's more or less like just a thing you can unleash.
Yeah.
That's
He just
great.
the first time he met the kid, he just went and stood over him and looked down and didn't say a word. And I was like, that's what I need.
I did that too. I had a younger sister, and I did that with every boyfriend she had, and all of them. She's a musician, so all of them were little nebbish, musicians.
Yeah.
So I felt awful by like the third one. I'm just bullying these dorks.
I'm going to crush your violin.
Yeah, dude.
I hope you're having a great time at Skankfest.
It's the best. I love this. I've been to every single one.
Oh, really?
New Orleans. I mean, this is like this setting, this place, everything about it. I think this might be the best spot so far.
Yeah, I would think that Lewis is going to decide that this is probably where it needs to be for a little while.
Thematically, it makes the most
You
sense.
can't-
And people usually, when you go into a town, when this place takes over a town, they walk around, even in Vegas, and you're like, that's a Skankfest person.
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
blend
yeah,
in
you
with
know,
the general pop. Here in New Orleans, everybody's walking around, and it's like, we're all freaks.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
This is
we all belong on a fan boat.
The best thing that I've seen today is a fat naked girl. She was not fat like where you wouldn't bang her, but
Sure.
she was fat, and she's walking around with nothing but nipple covers on.
I saw her
and
as well.
fishnet stockings. And I thought that takes some balls. She's the Zach Amico of ladies.
She really is. She's just a waterbed with legs.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Good
thanks for
luck
having
with
me,
Fart Carnival.
That's right.
And let Feeney know that I don't want him to burn.